will be your guide for today. Today I'm going to dabble in a little bit of tarot as well as do some channel messages, and the topic is about, this is specific for those that feel like they're making a breakthrough through the veil or the illusion of reality. There's these shifts that are happening, and they're huge. But before I get into that, I just wanted to say that I am putting together the hidden arc of the covenant, the codes to the hidden arc of the covenant video. And yeah, as I was, like, we've had some really, obviously, some really synchronistic things that are happening. I mean, I'm saying obviously because I've already put up YouTubes and videos on those synchronicities that have happened, but the power of the message that's coming through is just so beautiful. And I literally yesterday, as I was working on it, just started to cry. Like, that's how much emotion is going into these channel messages. And it's just beautiful of where we're actually going, humanity's going. I'm really loving the story that's developing with my guides, my counsel. So yeah, I am an intuitive counselor. If anyone wants to book a one-on-one reading with me, the link is down below. And the new channel that I have is called Codes to a New Reality. If you want to look that up, there's already about 8 videos up there. I'm taking my time with the Ark of the Covenant. Want to make sure it's right on, and I might even premiere this one. Yeah. So that's going to be interesting. Hey, Sherry, good to see you. Hey, Monique, good to see you from YouTube. So yeah, the messages that I've been receiving lately are to do with this next phase or this next step as we are realizing that we're really breaking through. These are the people that have done a lot of shadow work. They understand that they're the creator of their reality. They have, they go in and out of the illusion of, playing the practical playing field, and then, oh my God, I get this feeling or this buzz of excitement for what's to come. There's these twists and turns that'll happen as you go along, and it's to do with acceptance as you move through, acknowledging the mind, acknowledging the mind and where it's at when things come towards you. So you might have a moment of anxiousness when something doesn't go right, and then you catch yourself, and then you're like, let this go, and you sort of try to talk yourself around it into it. It might not be as bad as what it is. I'm not following my logical pattern anymore. I'm going to try to change the story within, shift my vibration, and that sort of thing can happen. Or you might end up finding yourself as you go along, something negative, so-called not so nice, happens to you, and then you're like seeing it from an observer point of view and going, you know what, it might be a blessing in disguise. It might be something that's happening to me, but it's literally something that's happening for me rather than an external attacking me or whatever, but it's directing me towards another way. These are the things that they want you to look at your mind as you go through your day-to-day. And then you might get to a point where one of the times where something negative sort of comes towards you, where you just go, I didn't even feel that. I didn't even notice it. It's just like, boom, it happened. The person reacted. Didn't even have any sort of feelings whatsoever. Then you know in that moment that you have gained the point, or gained the observation of realizing you were above or beyond. I'm trying to use the right words that they're trying to bring through here. There's not really a word for this. Above, beyond the matrix, the program, the veil, because you don't react to it, and so it has no resistance to you. And even if they carried on like a whatever, you're not entangled in that story whatsoever. So you'll definitely be directed in a way that this is just a fleeting thing that happened that didn't even affect you. So there's these three things. Now they're also telling me these three things will pop up as you go along, and you're trying to break through this veil, and to just look at the mind and how it's reacting. But now then they said to me to accept each stage as it's happening. Don't poo-poo it. Don't put it in a box of, oh, I didn't catch it in time, and then you're getting down on yourself and you're feeling a little bit of guilt that comes with it and all that sort of stuff. It's more of a seeing as your mind observes and reacts differently. Take it on, but don't level it into a playing field of I'm bad, I'm good, I'm really, I'm in the zone. They're wanting us to, that is a program in itself of looking at our life in a segmented way that says that we are bad or we are good, and that's not what life's about. Life's about experience, feeling, moving through, learning, adventures. Acceptance is the thing that they keep bringing up, acceptance of the journey. And then it just kind of lets you skim across, and they're showing me like someone who's caught a wave in a sea, in the ocean, and like they just keep going, like a really good surfer or whatever. When they've found that sweet spot, it's through acceptance. It's not through looking at your external world and how you're reacting to it as much as it is through acceptance of that moment of your of your calculations of where you're at and where you're not at. There's a reason for that, because when we start to calculate, we start to put ourselves down and we start to put ourselves on a pedestal. And that there is no pedestal, there is no down. So it's literally, that's going to help you pierce through the veil even more, because then you can come into an alignment of self-acceptance no matter what comes up, and how you react. It's just, wow, that's interesting that I reacted that way, rather than, oh my God, I shouldn't have done that. That shouldn't have been that way. I should never have reacted that way. Okay, so I had to get that out first, because that was one of the profound channel messages that was coming through for me this week. It's kind of like a self-analyze to the point where you don't analyze anymore. Yeah. Hey, Sky, good to see you, and Yannicka and Miramelli from YouTube. Good to see you guys. Oh my God, Miramelli, this is literally happening right now in my reality. Outside is creating chaos, but I'm not playing. Yes, but it's not, it's just allowing, because when we come to a point where we are not even seeing it as a karma, punishment, disalignment, when we're not even seeing it as that, we're just seeing it as the playing field playing with us and us playing with it, that's when it shifts to your soul being the navigator and taking you to a better place. How can I put that? That's when it shifts to your soul no longer pulling back and allowing the game of the logical mind saying that you're not good enough, and the guilt and all that sort of stuff that reels in when we feel and it can be very, very slight. You can say, oh, I caught myself thinking negatively about that person. But if instead of saying I caught myself, say, well, that's interesting. Is it redirecting me? See, it's kind of, you're asking yourself, because you're not entangled in the response that you had. So there you're asking yourself, is it redirecting me to a better alignment? Is it showing me a little bit that I do have to unblock? Is it showing me that I am feeling my way through my life? It's coming from that point of view where you get the most clarity of where you're going, instead of damn, I shouldn't have thought that, or I shouldn't have gone there, or I wish I had have. Yeah, because that's still pulling you back into that program instead of seeing the opportunities of where one can go as we step through. Anyway, this is happening on, they're showing me a fine tuning. There's fine tuning to those that are breaking through the veil. So much fine tuning going on that they're bringing me to a discussion I had on a boat with this lovely person who was creating an engine for his car. And when he was creating it, he had all these pieces, and he was saying that he was fine tuning it to a point where it could go very, very, very clear, be very clear and fast. And I said to him, so you're taking more and more pieces away, but you're fine-tuning the pieces that are left. And he said, yeah, that's exactly right. Because I said, that's what's happening with the mind. As we're moving into this new reality, we are taking away the bits, these little bits that we thought how we react and all of that sort of thing, and how we look at it and ask and all that sort of thing. We're fine-tuning it to a point where it's just acceptance. And it's in that acceptance that you become this clear vessel, that you can move forward through the soul's wisdom, which is connected to all. And the soul's wisdom is a oneness with the whole of humanity's consciousness plus everything that they know. And so you have all of these beautiful paths opening up to you, because you're now playing the game of the soul rather than playing the game of the logical mind, trying to fix things that had happened in the past and projecting into the future of what could be giving you anxiety or depression or whatever, or guilt as well, because guilt is a big program that we are fine-tuning ourselves away from. So yeah, okay. That's one thing that could be happening to you. So even in the response of it could be it could be a little thing that happens, and it could be a bigger thing that happens. But when you're keeping yourself in a release, there's a feeling of just, I can only use the word acceptance again, but there's a release of oneself as you move along your life day to day and moment to moment. When you move into that, everything feels like it's working for you. The universe is like working for you, because you could see through everything that isn't aligning with that fine-tunement that you've found within yourself. Okay, I'm going to pull out some cards as well, because this was meant to be a tarot reading, right? Come Oracle, and I will be doing some free chat bar readings after this general. But let's see what the tarot has to say as well as we go along, and this fine-tuning of oneself and piercing through the veil. Believe you me, when you pass through the veil, you will know it. I have been there before, and it is an absolute no anxiety, no guilt, it's just, I can't even describe the peace that I felt within my mind when this happened. And then I lost myself. We're talking quite a few years ago. And then they said the training wheels are coming off. You have to do it yourself now. And it's taken me a long time to even get to this point where I'm at. And I feel in some ways I've surpassed, and then some ways I'm still hanging on to old programs. It's really interesting. Nothing is... Life moves in the weirdest ways. It's not what the logical mind wants to say. That life will move from, you get better and better and better. It does these dips and dives and comes in and out and goes on this journey of self-discovery and fine-tuning and all sorts of things. So even acceptance of that's going to help you. It's okay. But when you do pierce through this veil, what I felt was absolute understanding of I was navigating I wasn't allowing my logical thoughts to navigate anymore. I had complete faith in my soul's connection to many, and that complete faith gave me this peace and substance in this world to be able to take huge leaps. Yeah. So, okay, let's go into this. So you will know, I know I had this feeling. I remember dancing in I was living with my mum at the time in New Zealand. I was saving up to come to Australia, and I just had this peace within me. And I knew I was dancing all over the show. I had so much more energy in myself as well, because I'd let go of a lot. But then when I went to Australia, a whole heap of other stuff that I hadn't gone through had come up for me to readdress again. It was like they gave me a sneak preview, and I had premonitions. I knew what was coming next. All sorts of things started to happen. Okay, so those that are coming into these changes and moving through, yes, in the void. I'm just going to leave in there. We have a suppression, feeling like the walls will come in on you before the breakthrough happens. The only reason why this happens is because, and this could have happened already for you in the past, it's something that's leading up to this breakthrough, but we need to address this as well, because of those that are still in that suppression stage doesn't mean that you are failing or anything like that. And I hate to even use the word fail these days, but it's like a tightness of oneself as the logical mind's like dictating to you how it should be and how you should act and what you should do and all of this, and you've got to follow the instructions that the outside world's telling you, and just it's like a suppression of your soul that just goes, I can't do it anymore. And that will be a point of literally I want out. And then with that I want out, you're like, well, if I want out, I might as well just completely release. So that can happen leading up to this breakthrough. We have three other cards. We have the aloneness, and you go into hermit stage. So literally the cards are pulling out the stages that we go into as we're coming through to this breakthrough. But I want to get more into the wisdom of the people that are actually piercing that veil. I'm going to channel some messages through. I feel like need to do that. I don't know if the cards will bring it out. But anyway, we have the suppression card, and then we have the aloneness. But I'm feeling there's this diamond on the end of the staff, and the realization that this staff or this rod or this wand or whatever you want to call it, the extension of one's body, is the symbol of the extension of reality, the physical reality outside of you. And the awareness that what you hold within yourself is the diamond within you, which is a spark of consciousness just being ignited, is also on the end of the staff. And so when you go into a hermit stage, you realize that your outer world is your inner world as well. There's a place that you need to sometimes come into. The people that are doing a lot of this work and are here for the purpose of navigating others, many others, sometimes can be alone a lot. Like they just find themselves alone a lot. That is relevant to the journey that they're taking, so that they can keep on tweaking the work, and they're not having somebody else's energy come in, especially if you're very empathic. Then the other person's energy could distort you until you find your solid ground within yourself, so that then you can now allow somebody else in and know that you're not going to get swept away or blame them for your entanglement. You know, when you're with somebody, something goes wrong and you're like, oh, it's because of your energy that's around me, not because of mine. Well, it is yours as well, because you've allowed them to come in. So if you've allowed them to come in, you have to take full responsibility for that. But there's a hermit stage that you can go through, and it goes in and out of this hermit stage as you figure out how you can navigate the practical world, the solid world, with a lot more feeling based, with a lot more empathy within yourself. That's understandable as we're going towards piercing the illusion or the veil that has been holding us in a very limited consciousness. We have two that are upside down, but I'm going to pull them up the right way, but just note that they came out upside down. We have the yin within the yang and the yang within the yin, the integration of oneself, the physical. I'm really starting to feel that those that are going through this breakthrough are realizing there is no difference between what's in their outer world as what is in the inner world. And in the outer world, you might find glimmers of the inner world, and in the inner world, you might find glimmers of the outer world. It's very interesting, like the yin and the yang has these little dots within. We have this physical within our spiritual. I've never ever had a message like that, and we have the spiritual within the physical as well. So there is an entanglement of recognizing that as you go along, because if you start to see it like that, you're no longer blaming one or the other for the disillusionment that you have in your life. We have the celebration card, but it did come out in reverse as well. But I'm seeing this person playing in these puddles, like the splashing of the water, that they're instead of seeing a puddle that's, mud and like going to play in it and going, oh my God, I'm going to get all dirty. And if I play in this field, in this physical field, I'm going to get all dirty. It's more like just enjoy it, because as you play in it, they're showing me the water getting cleaner. And then you're starting to realize you're playing in you're using your emotions to your advantage as you move through this as well. Or there's something more to do with feeling based there. They're just showing me still somebody playing in the puddle, it getting clearer. Instead of going, I'm not going to go near that puddle, it looks too muddy for me, I'm going to get too dirty. So it's like playing in this physical world, interacting with the physical world, up to, when you're in this hermit stage and you're still reevaluating yourself. You could be seeing that puddle as a muddy puddle, or the outside world, the physical world, as a muddy puddle. And then they're showing me you just going for it anyway. It's like, I need to celebrate. And the world is here for me to celebrate with. So a lot more nature-based, going out, even being on your own, taking chances, a lot more, the fear is subsiding. And so the chances that you go out into this big world, and then when you come across all these people, these wonderful people with these wonderful different personalities and all their blockages and everything, they don't affect you. There's when you pierce that veil of the illusion, they won't affect you anymore, because you stepped into another a phase of your life that is calmer. I just want to get some more cards. I think I'll get some tarot as well. Thanks, Celtic, for sharing that in the chat bar as well. Okay, let's see what comes up with the... It's kind of like they're showing me, they're bringing me into the story. I always do this. I'm now looking at how can I do better with my algorithms on my YouTube. And I really have had a real, I do not want to go into all of that stuff. And now I don't have the same resistance to it. So I'm starting to look into it a little bit more. I've always had the thought, I'm not going to go there. But then it's like, I'm only doing half the job. So I am starting to watch YouTubes that are telling me how to do better when it comes to algorithms. I really do have resistance on that one. And it's acknowledging, as you're passing through this veil, where do you have your resistance? Where is that resistance? Because that is probably just over the line of that is where you have the freedom that you are actually seeking. There's physical knowledge as well as spiritual knowledge that has to that plays in this game, because humanity's consciousness is entangled in the physical, especially at the moment. We've just come out of a whole era of only looking at us outside of ourselves for our power. And so there's a lot of these, there show me a lot of programs that are in the physical that we sometimes will have to navigate. It's not just sitting in the imagination and wishing it to come true. We have to do the actions. We have to do that sort of thing as well. But seeing where the resistance is towards that physical side of self as well. Okay, for those that are piercing the veil or to break through, there's a oneness that you're coming towards, an understanding of oneness. It can feel almost, how could I put that? So expanding, such an expansion within oneself of acknowledgement that there is way more in the physical world than what you were expecting that could help. Yeah. I'm finding some of these messages are needing new words. Like, I'm really finding that lately. There's it's just not enough English words. I wish that we were completely telepathic. You just go, oh, get it. I get what you're saying. I mean, and you could like tune into me telepathically and feel the messages that are coming through me as well. That could help. Why not? Go for that. Okay. We have the Knight of Swords. We have that one's just, this is, okay. We have the Three of Swords on its head. We have the Knight of Swords. It's like this is reminding me of the message of just go for it anyway, even if you feel there could be something that could get to you, just go for it, because that's going to bring in a reflection of the problem that you can now have least resistance with by saying to yourself. And one of the things that they were telling me is it's a gift in disguise. It's a gift in disguise. So when something seemed to go wrong in my day-to-day experience, they said shift it to it's a gift in disguise. And that's literally what started to happen. It was a gift in disguise. I'll tell you one little quick story here that happened to me yesterday. So, I'm an Uber Eats driver. I absolutely love being an Uber Eats driver because it gets me out off my computer and I'm nurturing people and and I can do it whenever I like. So it's actually really fun. And I only do it when I want to do it anyway. So it's really cool. Anyways, I ended up getting this job and ding, 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 the lady said, all of this information about getting to your place. And the first thought I thought was resistance. I don't know if I want to do this job because if she's got all of those instructions of getting to her place, if I don't get to her place in time, she could put me as a, X, mark me as useless, and then I get a bad run on my Uber Eats thing. So you can just go, no, I don't want the job. I sat there for a moment. I looked at the instructions and I felt into it. And I'm just like, you know what? No, just go for it. Just go for it. Just do this. So I ended up going on to the job and I picked it up. And as I was picking it up, another job, ding, ding, comes through. Wasn't much money attached to it, but I was there anyway. Usually I don't take those jobs either, but I went, why not? There was a feeling. I was following my soul's guidance, see? But there was still that resistance. And this is what I mean by go for it, even though you have the resistance. See the Three of the Swords. And so I took the job. I get to the place. It was actually way easier than what she was making it into a big story. And it wasn't even a big story. It was actually really easy to get there. It wasn't even that bad. So I got there. And there's two people standing outside and they were both chatting to each other. And they said, they were both flatmates in the same place that hadn't talked to each other. And they both asked for a delivery to the same place. So I actually delivered the 2 jobs to exactly the same place. See, a blessing in disguise. It didn't even have to travel to the second place. It was right there. See what I mean by there was resistance. So you want to go forward with these things. Really, to feel into the soul, there could be a feeling of resistance because of the logical mind going, remember that, remember that, remember that. But when you really sit back and feel into yourself, the soul will be guiding you in a way. And they kept telling me, a blessing in disguise, a blessing in disguise. So as you go nearer to closer to piercing this veil, you could have these little incremental stories that are annoying. But they're asking you to trust the soul rather than the logic. And you could feel, now that's the fine tuning that we are learning to do. What is logic? Telling me blah, 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 blah. All that happened in the past is going to happen in the future. Oh my God, you should never do that again. And the soul is like, I know I live in the moment, and in the moment, all stories are working for me. And so I will only direct you to the right story. If you feel real resistance from the soul, then as you feel into that, it would just feel, you'll literally start to feel it in your body. They're showing me your body, just like your soul connected to your heart, connected to you. You'll feel it. There's a difference. So we're fine-tuning these feelings that we have. Now, the next one that came up was the 7 of Swords. Actually, that came up with the 3 of Swords. So yeah, it's people that are stealing, taking from you, that sort of thing. That's all these stories that can come up as you're going closer, getting closer to fine-tuning yourself, which is piercing that veil. And out of the illusion, there are limitations, and into a beautiful new 9 of Cups, which is the gifts coming rolling in and understanding what that actually feels like. Because in the past, we've also had the feeling that what happens if the gifts will be stolen, or it's not going to last, or am I really ready? Can I accept this? Do I trust this gift? That sort of thing. All of these are being navigated at the moment as you are piercing through the veil and getting closer to it anyway. That happens to you more often than not, Marima. Hey, Liz, good to see you. Okay, we're going to I was reaching for these ones, so we'll take these ones. These are oracle cards. Okay, so just to help navigate those that are piercing through the veil. You'll know it's you because you'll feel like everything's kind of discord. When you're getting close to this, it'll feel like you're in a place of not quite in the physical, not quite in, it's like a disjointed no man's land of navigation. It's giving you a chance to fine tune your mind, yourself with your mind and everything else. It's giving you a chance anyway to do that. That's funny. I am shuffling these and I just realized the instruction cards in here. So there's these instructions that'll come for you with your soul starting to instruct you. You're finally letting go of logic instructing you, which is only grabbing from the past, projecting into the future anyway. It can't reinvent or recreate or see beyond the story that you've already had in this life. So you just keep going around in circles. So there's new instructions coming. The soul will bring new instructions for you. Understandings. Each and every one of us is going to have a different instruction downloaded in the moment, in each moment. Trust it. Like when I have a voice of within myself, I mean, it's not a voice, it's not like external, it's within my mind, that says, trust, there's a gift, a blessing in disguise. Then when you start to see life like that, then all of the so-called not so good start to become blessings. So that's why they were saying that to me. Keep saying that to yourself. Respect yourself. You're the best judge of what's right. There, self-respect. totally goes with what I was just saying. So yeah, the card of self-respect. Just I'll show you the image just in case you get something else more from it. Yeah, she's pretty covered up. See, they're showing me this water again and the puddle and the celebrations through self-respect. You know yourself better than anyone else. Always remind yourself of that. Nobody else can really tell you how you feel and how to navigate your life. They can guide, they can share their wisdom of how they found their way out or whatever, but it's how you're feeling, your own self-respect and trusting that. Because in the end, we're all going to become, in this higher dimension, when we all pass this veil, we're all going to become our own sovereign self. We're going to become awarenesses of ourself, like how wisdom in a body through the soul's connection, and no longer needing anyone else to guide. Blessings. Look, this is what's coming up for a lot of us as we pass these veils. Count your blessings. Grateful heart attracts more joy, love, and prosperity. See, it's a shifting up of seeing your life as a blessing rather than a curse. Seeing it like that, seeing the disjointedness as realignments. You watch, it'll all start shifting then. But there's also navigating in the physical world with the soul's, with the awareness of the soul navigating in the physical world. I think this is shift into an awareness of my soul is navigating the physical world now, rather than a repetitive pattern that's been pulled over me. And I think that's the only way that I can go, because it's almost a comfort zone of being in the worst position. They wanted me to take a look at this. Offer your support to somebody else experiencing the joy of serving others. Whenever you are in, as you're starting to get to this point of so-called piercing the veil or the illusion, or stepping into this new 5D experience, the experience where you feel really calm, you'll get these moments in time where someone needs help, and it's seeing how you respond. And you could say to yourself, oh, I can't be bothered at the moment. Absolutely fine. Like it's not this, if you don't help somebody because you're not in enough energy, you don't have enough energy within yourself to do that, and you need it for yourself, then that's an absolute, like, do that. But don't feel guilty about it afterwards either. Now, if you do have the time and energy and all of that, and they're in front of you, then they are part of your reality. So do you have time to actually support them and then do it? Then absolutely. But they're showing me, watch your thoughts. How are you thinking before you're supporting? Because every support that you do is actually supporting yourself anyways. They're not saying that you should feel guilty for not supporting. Not that at all. But you could find a gift in the fact that you supported them, because you're actually supporting who you are. You're showing yourself that you're supporting your outer world is actually supporting your inner world too. But they don't want you to hang on to guilt if you don't have the tenacity in that moment, because we're all going through our own stuff. Yeah, priorities. It makes total sense. Get your priorities straight. When you know what's important, saying no gets so much easier. If it's not an absolute yes, then it's a no, and that's fine as well. I keep showing me the bottom of the pack. Own your magnificence. Magnificence. The world needs your brilliance and grace. Okay, I'm just going to put these aside and get these ones. And then I might get these ones. Here. Hey, from Denmark, Lassie, from YouTube. Cool. Okay, as we get into this, you are going to have specific gifts, just that your soul has already been on, past lives and that it understood. Could be from eons ago. That time is not linear like our logical mind creates it in a linear fashion. But even the last life you had could have been in Atlantis, Lemuria, and then you jump to this life, and then you jump to another life that's in between Atlantis, Lemuria, and now, because you're helping guide and all that sort of stuff. So there's all these different, they show me even the future and then coming back. And then, so it's not as linear, but they're showing me the gifts that you have from the past lives. When you start to move through your life in a physical way, in this grounded way with the soul, more love, but soul is love. So you have to be love of self, love of everything, and acknowledging how you are and who you are, and holding your head up high and knowing who you are as you walk in this path. But they're showing me these gifts coming in, because it was one big thing that I noticed is my premonition skills was off the chart when I was in the zone. My even ability to be telepathic, my being able to connect with other people and share who I was through telepathy. I knew when an earthquake was going to happen, moments before it was going to happen. I already had that feeling of rockingness, and then I'm like, oh my God, an earthquake's going to happen. And 5 minutes later, I actually felt it. I was actually feeling it when it was actually happening up in the North Island. This is when I was in New Zealand, being led to things that, there was but these are my gifts, right? They're showing me you will have your own gifts that start coming up. That's why they wanted us to look at that 9 of Cups as the opportunities and gifts coming our way. It's because you have more space now. You're not clouded by the judgment of that logical thinking. We have 2 cards that's fallen out. I'll just see if there's any more that wants to come out. Okay. We'll get into some. I've got a couple of interviews coming up as well. I slowly starting to build up again. I think I was a little bit rocked. I got off track a little bit when I broke away from the house and had to, then I ended up traveling, and then I ended up in New York, and I did all that work, and the blessings that I had in New York. People were absolutely respecting me. It was so beautiful. I was so taken back by all of that. And then I got back, and then I had to readjust to a new setting, and I'm going to be house sitting in different houses coming up soon, so you'll see me with different backgrounds and all sorts of things happening as I travel and move through. I'm starting to realize the message here for me is home is where I am, no matter what. I am already home. I'm already home within myself. I am enough. In this physical vessel, and I am always looked after. Man, I've been looked after. I have been so looked after. I am so lucky in that respect. But I'm just starting to readjust myself back into aligning with the progression of everything again. It's just been a big journey. Anyway. I don't even know why I brought that up. Okay, soulful appreciation. See, we're appreciating our soul's advice. We're fine-tuning ourselves, coming into balance, but recognizing it's not that we're taking away the physical. We're not. We're just learning to ground more of our soul into the physical. And when we do that, it comes from love. Love is the only way that you're going to be able to navigate through this. If you are feeding your soul, you're appreciating your soul. There's heartfelt gratitude, it says, and there's a balance of oneself, where that physical, like the gold that you're seeking, is already being represented by the butterfly that's free, the butterfly that can fly now. It's no longer the caterpillar. It's transformed into this freedom of realizing, oh my God, my soul will always look after me. And I've been shutting it out in fear of not following a program that somebody else told me. I've been shutting it out. And it's really this alignment with yourself, is the freedom of who you are, being able to go wherever without any fear, just trusting the winds and all of that, but also navigating your life through this, so that you are realizing that's where the true gold is. Because on the other side of that, in the physical world, comes the abundance, the true abundance, the gold, the literal house, the homes, the people in it, the physical, tangible stuff that you need, the job that you really wanted to aspire and come into. And letting go of urgency is another one. This is one that comes up because it is a constant. Even when you are in this beautiful space with the soul, you're constantly needing to learn to let go, let go, let go, let go. Trust yourself that in the letting go, you come into a much better understanding of self, where hanging on to thoughts, hanging on to past, hanging on to what that person did, it's not giving you that butterfly feel, that butterfly effect, where you are now the central point of magnetism for creation to be bending towards you. That's what they're telling me. So this is a constant. Constantly, I'm letting go, I'm trusting. Oh, that just happened. Oh, let it go. Is it happening right now? No, I'm replaying it in my head. So it is happening right now because it's been replayed in my head. So you're literally there again. But do you really want to be there again? Was that an energy that you really want to feel again? This is you learning to control your mind, saying that it's not controlling you anymore, that you are in charge as an observer, as a soul. You're allowed to have your soul navigate your life, but that's learning to live in the moment. If you're driving or you're, I don't know, walking down the street or whatever, and you've got playing out something in your head that's negative, I touch something. I tap my steering wheel to bring me back to, I'm in the car. I'm not there. I'm here. They're bringing me to Star Trek. There was a moment in Star Trek where was it Star Trek? Yeah, it was Star Trek. I think it was, I can't remember what it was called now. But there was a guy that was hanging on to the past, and he was keeping on reliving it with his ex-wife that had passed over. And then this benevolent being came up to him and said, why do you keep doing that? Why would you keep reliving something that brings you pain? So we're stepping into these new worlds where we're not hanging on to the pain as much as what we were. So that's piercing that veil, right? It's moving into this new vortex of fine-tuning ourselves, trusting our feelings. Our empathy is working for us, not against us. The world is magnetizing towards us as a creation of what you're creating inside, but you're also doing the physical work towards that as well. Because it's an adventure in a physical plane of existence. So we're still going to be doing the physical work. If you go into a cave and you just meditate, yeah, you could become enlightened in a physical world, but you're not really in the physical world then. You might as well be passed over into another dimension where you could learn the same sort of navigation. But this is to do with learning to play in the practical playing field with the essence of soul, becoming the creator of the next thing that you want to create. So much going on here. Okay, guys, I will pick one more animal card, and then I will open up the chat bar for everybody if they want to have a small reading. I think I'm going to be on with Robert Carley's show again. He's just asked me. He just sent me a message and asked me, and there's another interview that I just did, and there's another interview coming. So yeah, I'm getting back into it. I did say to my team, I think I need more interviews. Oh, that's right. We're going to do one animal card. Okay, so we have bee community. Oh my God, the bee. You are a powerful creator. Your work blesses everything you touch. Be open to receiving sweetness. You are the queen of abundance. So yeah, that's definitely this as you move through this, you will start to see opportunities, you will start to see gifts, you'll start to see your psychic development happening. You'll start to see those things that you always wish for to come true in the physical world will start to magnetize towards you. These are the things. So stay light. They're saying to me, stay light. You're nearly there. You're nearly there. Stay light. And I'm not saying, when they're saying stay light, it's like, I feel light. I feel, I'm not in my logical mind that's holding me into this tension anymore. Stay light. Like light isn't light, but light is in the vibration or meet to that feeling or that word of light. I am as light as the butterfly. And as I flap my wings, I affect everything. They're bringing me to the movie called Butterfly Effect. It wasn't a very nice movie, but definitely it was to do with one affects another, affects another, affects another. It's because you are the observer of creation. So become that. And then you become integrated in the physical world a lot more from that beautiful essence of being the powerful you. Okay, now we are going to open up the chat bar for free readings for those. Okay. Hey, Peter, good to see you on Facebook. Yeah, Facebook doesn't do so. I'm wondering whether this is the right road to take. I'm probably going to try a couple of things out. See. Didn't really work for me last week. We'll see. I don't know. Don't want to give up before something breaks through either. You know, trust my soul, right? Okay, stay light, says my team. Okay, here we go. Anyone who wants a reading, Lucky 33? Yes, please. We can do this. Lucky. Lucky 33. Is 33 your numerology number? Just curious. Nothing's falling out for you. Ah, just as I said that. Interesting. So if I was, sorry, I just had to get to the end of that shuffle. One card has fallen out, and it's right at the moment that I said nothing has fallen out for you. So there's something that they want you to just let go of, like, oh, just let it go. Something that's in your mind, the way that you're holding your mind is actually there's a small blockage for you to you're seeking something. You're seeking something outside of you, abundance of some sort. But they're saying that the thing that is blocking you is something to do with, it's like a wall there. And they want you to let that go so that you can, they want you to let that go so that you have learnt the lesson of what it actually meant to let go actually brings in what you need, so that you can do that over and over and over again. And now you've got a solid bottom of your bucket as you move forward. You're like, I know how to do that. I wasn't just led to the water, I drank the water. I actually learned how to let go, and how that actually reflects in my outer world, that it actually shifted that object, physical object. There's something about a material object that you're wanting to come in. Yeah, 5 of Cups fell out for you. So there's definitely, see, she's holding her head and she's like, she's looking at things that didn't work out. So there's something there that they're asking you to let go of, because behind her is these 2 full cups that want to come through, as in source energy, your soul is leading you to. But when we're focusing in on that, the problem of what you haven't had, that's showing me the grateful card. Be grateful for the minutest things in your life. And stay in that grateful sort of energy, because it stops you from going into the past and digging up worms. That's what they're showing me at the moment. Okay, who else have we got here? Sasha. Sasha, you just have two cards that flew out, and they're looking good. They're looking good. They're looking very good. I'll just go to the end of the pack. Yeah, one more fell out. Well, these ones are Sun, and underneath that was in reverse, the Palace, and I dropped it. Very interesting. I got the feeling like the Sun is a positive card, like, oh my God, I can feel that Sun. I can feel the God within me, I don't know what, your prime creator within me, the creator within me, sparking newness and positivity and all of this sort of stuff. And then they had the Palace of Coins, but it was in reverse underneath. So there's something that you are wanting to ground, a new environment, a new place, a home, something in your home, something tangible anyway, something very tangible in your reality that you're trying to ground through this positivity. I feel like this has the next clue. The Devil in reverse. How interesting is this? So something that you're wanting to ground here, there's somebody outside of you that they're bringing me into, like, I remember driving in the car and going, the reason why nothing's working for me is because I'm with a partner where nothing's working for them in abundance. And because they're not an abundant field, I'm not an abundant field. This has to shift. So there's something of somebody that's holding you back in their energy field, but you haven't, or you're realizing you need to shift them out. Now, they could have already been shifted out of your reality, but or they could still be in. I'm not feeling one or the other, because it's really hard to sense what's playing off in your mind. Is it real or is it in your mind? To me, it's all the same thing. So I'm just going to go with the fact that it could be the thoughts that you have, that person's still in your head, or that you're needing to readjust or realign. It's one thing to go, I'm thinking positive. But then underlining could be an energy that's kind of holding you back, and a needing to shift that for you to ground this Palace of Coins. Okay, I'll leave it there. Sasha. Who else have we got? Miramelli, YouTubes, lots of YouTubies. Okay. One that wanted to come out, I'm going to pull it out, and one that did fall out. Okay, yeah, look at this. We have the Queen of Wands and we have the Five of Wands. So look, this kind of just, there's something about her navigating. Oh, they're showing me her moving through this and shifting it. Something about you taking your power back from your heart and shifting this story. You're in it, you're involved in it to shift it. There's a power in you that can shift the story. And that's been brought up for you. See, the Five of Wands is somebody in action that's actually like, I'm going to, they're in their own mental head, they're in their own, and then you, as the Queen of Wands, clearing up the mud. Like, they're showing me that person playing in the puddle, but not that. They're literally showing me you standing in the water, and then the mess is, you're just seeing it as clear. A shaman that wants to bring in the rain for their village that's been dried up. They go onto a hilltop and they imagine, they do a dance of rain. They imagine the rain. They become that, and then the rain falls. That's what I'm seeing you learning to do in this next, as you're moving along. You are, in essence, put in a place that shifts others, and you're becoming more and more fine-tuned to that. So that's for you, Maramali. Yannicka. It's just, sorry, I'm not really following the chat bar. Okay, you're welcome, Lackey. What's I going to do? Sorry, I'm reading the chat bar now and not really present with who I'm going to read for. Yannicka, that's right. Okay, Yannicka. Yeah, I'm thinking we could even premiere a recorded video of me doing this and then me getting in the chat bar in the premiere. I'm not sure how it would work with pulling cards though. So anyway, we'll figure it out. Okay, so we have the Three of Cups. Yannicka, celebrations, unity, unification, celebrations coming your way. You are. Okay, we're waiting for, maybe you've been waiting for celebrations to come and you feel like you're just hanging there waiting for this to happen. Look, you're dreaming of the celebrations to come, but they're coming. They're coming. They are coming. You couldn't have had this card out first. They're coming. So you might have been in this limbo state and kind of readjusting and seeing things through new perspectives, new eyes, adjusting yourself, but also imagining something coming in with that Three of Wands as well. But definitely they're telling me, or they're showing me with this card popping out first, it is on your horizon. They're saying that it is on your horizon. There's something about the overflow of, there's an emotional overflow of you navigating through your emotions and becoming a feeling-based person, overflowing into others, and you're waiting for them to rise up as well. There's an entanglement here. They're showing me, it's really weird what they're showing me. They're showing me like a spider web, and they're showing me like people and the spider web. So there's a web of life, and they're kind of caught, and you are tapping, and it's not tapping them to lure them into the web. It's like tapping them to wake up. It's tapping that source energy and a direct alignment to them through your heart or through your awareness of your emotions, or something to do with your emotions here. And it's, there's part of you that's like sitting over here waiting and dreaming, but knowing that you are actually on the right path. And they just keep showing me this tapping, the mother spider, the mother spider tapping. I am sorry, I'll leave it there, because otherwise I'll probably end up doing a half-hour reading for you on that one. Mother spider tapping. Okay. Who else have we got? I'll just race to the bottom here. Monique, Christina. Okay. A little bit. Christina. And then we'll go to Monique. Christina. There's a feeling with you of now. Okay. It's like I'm shuffling the cards and then I get this feeling of now I take the lead. So there's an opportunity that's coming up for you where you're going to know now. Now you take the lead. And you're in Hermit. So there's a Hermit card that's fallen out, but I'm feeling like learning, fine-tuning, whatever, being present, being more present with yourself. And then all of a sudden it's like, that's it. Boom. I know what to do. And and it's my decision. There's something about you coming to your decision without any influence of people outside of you telling you when, what, do. It's like I know now. It's something to do with that. Now they're showing me racehorses. Now, like, you know, at the start when they all get pulled into their little box thing and then they open it and it's boom, it's the energy I'm talking about here. It's like apprehension, knowing that something's coming, but you're still in your hermit, and then now you win the race. Now you move. And it's that, usually it's that first, if you're in the right zone, if the horse is in the right zone and the jockey's in the right zone at the right time that they release that, the advantage is huge because they leap out at such a perfect moment. They're showing me, you know, when you're at a traffic light and you're waiting, you can't see the other traffic lights, but you're waiting for it to go green and you just feel into it and you go, now I shift, now I do my gear change because now I know it's going to go. And yet there's nothing else other than your intuitions coming from your intuition of a leap of faith of the now moment that's going to bring you into a zone that's going to propel you forward for you to win the race that you've always wanted to win, where before you probably tried, and in the trying you were either just behind or just in front and it never really quite worked. Okay, now we'll go to Monique. Okay, Monique. Okay, we have the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords. What's coming up for you? There could be an entanglement with you and another that is, even the slightest of nightmares could be coming towards you, but they want you to be aware of what's your story and what's others people's story. So that anything that comes towards you is an my head is not in the game. I'm feeling a bit off today, or ask yourself, is this someone else's story? And in doing so, you're automatically bringing your power back to who you are. Then my team always says, if I'm really stuck in a story in my head and I think it's somebody else, but I'm not quite sure, I always put a mirror that's facing all around me, that's facing outwards and facing inwards. If it's mine, I'll still feel that If it's theirs, it'll go back to them and I don't feel it anymore. It literally shuts it off. So there's you navigating through something that is connected to others at the moment, and sort of it's going to give you a lot more stability as you move forward. It's just another fine-tuning thing, right? Look at the stability that you have with your mind, where your mind creates your environment. Your mind will create your environment then. You're no longer being swept away by somebody else's environment or their thoughts or whatever. When we are very empathic, we become telepathic, especially with people that we love, and we can get swept into their stories very easily. This is why we have to be very strong with our mind, so that we can feel safe enough to be able to create the next thing that you want to actually tangibly create, because the palace is all to do with the actual physical environment, but the swords is all to do with the mind and how it navigates that environment, or brings it in. And we have two sword cards here, right? So this is all to do with you in your head, being in your head. Okay, so now we have Celtic. Okay, Celtic, you have the Seven of Wands coming up. So wondering if you've got a couple of, are you in a defense position here? Are you defending yourself a little bit too much? I have to defend myself because Where we defend ourselves is because we don't feel strong enough within ourselves. So if we turn that round and saying, oh, okay, that person's showing me where I need to stabilize my own energy so that when it comes up again, there's no reaction whatsoever. I don't need to defend myself against it, because and it's also like, try not to control your outer world too much. Allow the outer world to unfold. Just allow it to unfold, because when we're controlling our outer world but not our inner world, then we will always have, sorry, I haven't even shown you the card, we'll always have the fight coming back at us. See, all of these, you could say, oh, I've learned that lesson 10 years ago, or I learned that lesson last year, or I learned that lesson a few months ago. But these things are coming up for us to fine tune, remember? So we just keep on fine tuning. It's very important. It's good. It's a good thing. Who else have I got? You're welcome, Christina. Yannicka, thank you, Bobby. So spot on with that. What's been going on in my life. Yay. Okay, Debbie. Hi, Debbie. You have the Queen of Cups coming up, so standing in your power, but we have Judgment in reverse. The rising of one's consciousness into the Queen of Cups. Are you judging yourself a little bit here? Do you have guilt that you're holding on to that's stopping you from being empowered? Trying to fit into a story where you don't even fit into it? I don't know. There's something about you empowering yourself and stepping out in a new way. It's because they're showing me these people, they're actually lifting, they're releasing, they're lifting themselves, and they're finding their wings. And the Queen of Cups is always a very empowered card. So you're finding your wings through this next thing. We have the availability of our intuition rising, and our logical mind just holding them. So it's almost like a relationship of seeking stability as you rise higher into this Queen of Cups. It can show up in your life of somebody, a masculine energy that's coming, and then you're like, you're asking, are you strong enough to be able to hold me as I rise higher? You've got to find this within yourself first, so that those people, the right people, come towards you as well to help you stabilize yourself. Yeah, so you can work on what you really want to work on, which is this 8 of Cups, coins, sorry. He's working hard on his job, on what he's doing. Okay, who else have we got? Justin. Oh, so many layers. So many layers. And you could go through all these layers, Miramelli, like a little bit, and then you're like, hey, I'm free, and then, oh my God, it comes back again, and it's just keep going, guys. Okay, Justin, you got the 10 of coins. Something's coming in for you where you're feeling really good about yourself. There's a gift coming towards you. You're finding this opportunity. There's an opening. They're showing me an opening of an opportunity coming towards you. It's a practical opportunity. It's not just, a psychic gift or anything. This is actual practical opportunity coming towards you. Don't be blinded by the light. In other words, stay calm. As the opportunity comes in, stay calm. Stay calm. It's funny, they're like, stay calm, but also live so purely in the moment that you're still having fun with it, because you don't want to miss the excitement of the opportunity coming in either, but you don't want to go too far over that you literally say make a fool of myself, and then the door shuts. So or getting too far ahead of myself. There's a definite opportunity coming up for you that's coming. That's all right, Debbie. You're welcome. Okay, guys, it's been an hour and a quarter. I'll love you and leave you here. And please look out for I'm probably going to make it a premiere for the Ark of the Covenant on my other channel, which is Codes to a New Reality. And the link is down below to that new channel. If you haven't subscribed, oh my God, it's only a few weeks up and we have 90 subscribers. I'm so excited. Yeah, so we'll see how this one goes. But this next one, the Ark of the Covenant, powerful. Yeah, it definitely got to me. Yeah, it's beautiful and powerful and aligning with what's going on now. I didn't expect that. And I definitely didn't expect to do something in a religious sector with the whole going into the Bible kind of a thing with Moses and but that's the way my team's taken me. Absolutely have faith in that, especially after getting that really crazy coincidence of Moses wanting me to deliver to him through my Uber Eats. It's just nuts. Yeah, blew my mind. Anyway, guys, until